Michelle here again. I am coming out to do some work. I washed yesterday, so these weren't dried. But for those persons who saw the first videos, I don't know if you would remember how here looked. So it's more resplendent with bush, pumpkin and potatoes. We actually got a pumpkin of this recently, and it wasn't fit. So that's something we need to work. I need to work out what it sounds like, what a fit pumpkin sounds like. That's the size now of the pawpaw tree. For those who watched the previous videos, you will see the callaloo tree that my daughter, as my daughter calls it, that's it. We transplanted it from the bag it was in, so it kind of broke down. What happened is all of those seeds that were on the top, the rain and the wind the other day knocked them out. So in a while we're going to see a whole lot of callaloo plant here. Seedlings are already there. I don't know how I would transplant these. To tell you the truth, I tossed some seeds in the tomato section over there, and we tried. Well, we got a callaloo bed from it. So there's my callaloo bed that my daughter and I made. My older daughter is the executive. She's kind of the main breadwinner right now until I sort myself out. So she helps with weeding when she has chance, but most of the time she's on her computer working, right? This was totally filled with tomatoes the other day, the plant. All these tomatoes. And we reaped a whole lot of tomatoes. It's winding down now, and I have fresh seeds in and young seedlings and so on. But this mostly is going into the other cycle of planting and so on. One of the things I realized with the American plants, the sweet peppers, the tomatoes and so on, they look real, right? But they don't reproduce, so to speak. What do I mean by that? The sweet peppers you get from the US, even when I was in the US and I planted it, I realized this. I guess because it's GMO, when you get a sweet potato, sweet pepper, or bell peppers as you guys call them, the seeds, I toss it in my garden. Even when I'm in Jamaica, when I was in Jamaica, I toss it in my garden and you get fresh plants from it. The GMO ones though, you don't get anything from those seeds. You don't get anything from those seeds. So you can't get any plant from them. That's not the case here. The tomatoes, I toss them anywhere and they just come up. The seeds from the actual callaloo, you get plants. The root from the onion, the root from the green onions, all those things I get. So I have this big, nice bell pepper plant, but nothing comes from it, right? There's a hot pepper plant beside it, but the one behind it with all those nice blooms and so on that you would get things from, usually you don't get nothing from it. So the plant is just there, and that's not the only one in the yard, right? Trying to find another way to do the sweet potatoes so that I don't end up with too much bush being taken over from the leaves of the potato and the pumpkin, because those things just take over your space, right? This is another plant for the bell pepper. Nothing is coming from it. Usually if you get the bell peppers from here, you will get things from the seeds that you plant. Nothing from this. This one is hot pepper. Right, there's a pepper. There was a pepper on it. One of those kids probably took it off, my daughters. But this is the yard. No, I don't know who remembers what it looked like. So I'm just going to, I want this grass to spread around everything that I plant here. The ackee tree that now has young leaves. The cassava, because I now have cassava here. That's my cat. I acquired a cat recently and two puppies. Two cats, two puppies. Talk about them at another time. Pine, the sugar cane. My breadfruit came here with 2 leaves. I have gotten 2 pear trees since that time. You know, I'm supposed to start a compost thing here. I just have not gotten to it. Yeah. So I'm supposed to get some things from this to make a compost. I saw a TikTok thing recently that made it a little bit easier. So I need to get back to it and do my thing. Pumpkin there, pumpkin there. This is my pear tree. It caught recently, so the leaves now coming up are just green leaves. All of these were weeded recently, so I gotta go back to digging. I got a whole lot of roots out recently as well. This now, my daughter, before we were told how cassava grows, we saw the plant, rooted it out and replanted it here. But this cassava sticks are what I'm told you put in the ground in the correct position and you get cassava. But it takes 6 to 8 months. I still want to see if anything comes from this, so I'm going to leave it. I don't remember putting pepper over there, but I see a pepper plant right at the corner here. Another pawpaw, the cocoa plant. These, the cocoa cucumbers, they grow just all over the property. Don't know how to get here. The good Lord, the Most High most likely just gives it away, right? Like He gives a lot of things away. This is cilantro. I got this recently, and I planted it different parts of the property. So this is, and let me tell you, a little piece, and in no time, as soon as it just starts spreading. So I know this will spread. Well, this is one of the roots that I started taking out, and I haven't gotten much really because some of these roots are interconnected because they've been here so long. So I still have a lot of work to do with that. This is pumpkin again, and let me tell you, the pumpkins them just catch so easily. So easily. You throw down the seeds and they come. I'm not going to stop anything. And this now is my source of tree spreading. So I don't want to take a lot of time with this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing or should be doing, and then maybe the results at the end of the day. No, not going to work that way, right? Show you the results at another time. But this is, they call it fever grass, lemongrass. Really nice in teas. Even if you use other things in the tea, the taste, not every other thing, but the taste is then the smell is really nice and strong when you put it in teas. But this is the overall property at this point in time. The changes to the house will come at a point. For those who remember around the pit there was this big lump of dirt going right around. Oh, I think we Well, we stretched it over weeks, really. Me, my daughters, my granddaughter doesn't do much work in the yard, but me and my two daughters, we actually started a Sunday. Rain fell the Sunday, but because the dirt is so hard when it's dried, we waited for the rain to actually soften it, and we used a pickaxe, dig away, and a wheelbarrow and move it and spread it out. So that is gone. So you have what you call a more panoramic view of the yard. Oh yes, and I got banana trees. That's one. This is two, and this now is a planting. What I noticed about these, the same day I got them, I planted them, and the leaves started springing out the same week. This was planted the same time, and it's taken a longer time to produce any plants. Watch this cat coming up on me, climbing my legs. This is Milo, guys. I'm not a cat person, but they were sent to me a story. We were I think 4 episodes of persons trying to come into my house. Well, the first time it happened, somebody actually did go into my house and they stole my pressure cooker, electric one. But that's another story. Okay, so this is another section with cassavas, and this is another section just coming up. So I can do it in a rotational. So they take 8 months to produce, and because they take 8 months to produce, I figure I would start one, like say this week, and another, I think it was a couple weeks after I started this one, and I did the same for some over there because I have some cassava plants. Let me see if I can see from there. So they will produce at different times, right? And I'll probably do it at another time, probably in the same spot, but let's see what happens.